Hello my keto peeps, it's Samaya and welcome back to my channel, I Don't Sugarcoat. Today I'm going to show you how to make a non-nut flour chocolate chip cookie. So let's get started. Before we begin, today's video is sponsored by Wholesome Provision. They're a company located locally right here in the US, and they specialize in making keto-friendly products. A few of which are now staples in my keto kitchen, and that includes their Lupin Flour and their allulose sweetener blend. Check out their website and look at their variety of products. I'm certain there is something on there that all of you will love. I'll leave a link in the description of this video to their website. Now let's jump into today's recipe. Now, if you guys can see that my eyes are a little red or a little puffy, it's just because it's allergy season for me. It happens every year around this time. So think nothing of it. To begin, we are going to start off with a half a cup of Lupin flour. To this, I'm going to be adding a half a cup of some wheat protein isolate 8000. Now you can use the 5500 version, but it does have more protein, so you're going to want to keep that in mind. To this, I'm going to be adding some multi-purpose protein powder, and this is the Quest brand, and I'll leave a link for that in the description of this video. Now in my little bowl here, I have a half a teaspoon of some baking soda. I have a quarter teaspoon of some ascorbic acid, and I just use that as a preservative to help keep my baked goods fresher longer. That is totally optional, and you don't have to add it if you don't want. I have 1/8 of a teaspoon of some xanthan gum. I have a half a teaspoon of salt, and then I have 1 teaspoon of some ground vanilla. Now, if you don't have any ground vanilla, you can just add 2 teaspoons of some vanilla extract, and I'll let you know when we'll be adding that to this recipe. So I'm going to dump all that into my bowl here. Now I'm going to be adding in 2 teaspoons of some baking powder. And I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick little whisk. Now we're going to go ahead and work on our wet ingredients. We're going to start off with 1 stick, 8 tablespoons of some room temperature butter, and you want to make sure that it's room temperature and nice and soft. And to this, we're going to be adding our sweetener. I have a half a cup of some Brown Swerve, and then I'm going to be adding in half a cup of the allulose sweetener blend. And now I'm going to go ahead and get this all nice and creamed together. Okay, and that looks fantastic. So I'm going to add in 1 egg. I'm going to be adding in 1 teaspoon of vanilla, but if you don't have the ground vanilla, add in 2 here. And this is another optional ingredient. I'm adding in 1 teaspoon of some maple extract. I really love maple extract in chocolate chip cookies. It's something I've just come to start doing. So if you want to give it a try, give it a try. If you don't have any, don't worry about it. Now go ahead and mix your ingredients. And now I'm going to be adding in 1/4 of a cup of some non-dairy milk. And you can use whatever kind you prefer. And then I'm going to be adding in the rest of my dry ingredients. And now mix this until it's all nice and blended together. Now, if you find that your dough gets stuck in your whisking blades here, I like to turn it all the way up on high and let it get out most of it. And then you can just kind of scrape out whatever's still left. Now that you have a beautiful thick dough, what we want to do is we want to add in some chocolate chips. And I'm going to be adding in 185 grams of some semi-sweet chocolate chips, and they're sugar-free. Now, at this point, you have a couple of options. What I would normally do is refrigerate this dough for at least an hour, giving it time to let all the ingredients come together and really be just a very delicious cookie. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna make these right now. But I would suggest refrigerating them. You can also store them for later. You can roll it into a log, put it in the freezer. These will cook up perfectly. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these scooped out and onto my cookie sheet. I've got my stove back here preheating at 350, and I'm gonna bake these for somewhere around 10 to 12 minutes. I'll come back when my cookies are all nice and done. So you can use a larger ice cream scoop and make roughly 12 cookies, but I'm gonna use a cookie scoop here so I can get some nice smaller cookies here because I love the portion control that I have with the smaller cookies. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this, and I will see you guys back here when my cookies are out of the oven. My cookies are out of the oven and they look simply fantastic, you guys. Oh my God, aren't these some beauties? Look at them. Now, I am going to give you a warning ahead of time. For those of you who did not see me post about these cookies on my Instagram, a lot of you wanted me to make this recipe because I posted that these cookies are 0.1 net carbs. And that is absolutely right. I know you're wondering, how is that possible? And that is because the Lupin Flour is only 1 net carb per 1/4 of a cup. So that's 2 net carbs right there going into the recipe. And then there is the Quest protein powder, which is 2 net carbs being added to it. So that's 4. And then there is the wheat protein isolate, which is a 0 net carb product. Now, I make these cookies in a couple of ways. I also will make these cookies using pea protein or some brown rice protein, and both of those are 0 net carb products. So it still keeps this recipe roughly around the same, which is 0.1 net carbs. Now, just because these cookies are 0.1 net carbs, still eat these things in moderation, you guys. I don't want anyone sending me messages telling me I ruined their keto because they were eating too many of these cookies. So just remember that even though they might be very low in carb, things like this should still be eaten in moderation. As you can see, these babies look fantastic. They stay pretty soft. They don't get crunchy. I love these things. That's going to be it for this recipe, you guys. I would love to try these for you, but it's only like 2 o'clock in the morning, so I cannot eat these. But I will tell you, in my opinion, I find these cookies to be absolutely delicious. I hope you guys enjoy them. I hope you make them. Let me know what you think of them in the comments. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button for me. And if you're new here, don't forget to click that subscribe button and don't forget to ding that little bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. And until next time, you guys, bye.